while you're in Sukhasana, which legs crossed, take a moment. You could even use the blocks if you have a block to sit on. So as you take a moment, find a comfortable space, eyes closed. And as your body settles in, shoulders start to fall. They start to just be. The neck begins to settle, and the head floats where it may be. As you move in with the breath, take a deep breath in. Inhale for 4, expand the lungs like you're going to hold your breath. And then you're going to exhale for 6 counts. Count. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again. Move with the breath. Notice the rise and fall of your navel. However slow you can go. If you're moving in shallow breaths, that's okay. The shallow breaths will start to deepen into deep breaths. I'm going to check if anyone else checked in. Amanda, hi, welcome. We're starting out with some prana practice, and before we move into hatha, our hatha practice. We're not doing hatha flow, but we are doing yoga meditation for sleep tonight. So usually we do candlelight hatha practice. Last week we did do yoga and meditation. Meditation and yoga for sleep. So if anyone arrived, please wave your hand, drop a line. Hi, Allison. So that way I know who is here and who is present. So continue to get started as we bring awareness into the breath. You may notice the breath in the chest. You may notice the breath in the heart. You may notice the breath even down into the ribs. Wherever you bring awareness to, where your body leads you to, just be. Anytime something pops up like a distraction, an emotion, a thought, could be a random thought, just let it flow, let it just pass by, let it go by. Deep breath as you inhale for 4 counts. Notice the movement of the breath through the chest. Exhale. We'll be moving into a few more breaths here, just the way you can sit in Virasana, where you're sitting on your heels, or you can be right here in Sukhasana. So wherever you are, you could even be lying down in Shavasana. So feel free wherever you feel the most comfortable and the most of being yourself, most content. Notice contentment when you are lying down as well. You can meditate through lying down. In fact, that's one of my favorites, is to lie down. Lengthen through the spine. If you are sitting up, lengthen through the spine. Move with the breath as you inhale for 4. Exhale for 6 counts. Begin to notice you're moving through deep breaths. And if at any time you're not able to hear me, wave your hand or drop a note so that way I can make sure you all can hear me. This is also a nice way to reflect upon your day, especially with a lot of different dynamics going on, whether you're working from home or you are working you are an essential employee or worker. The dynamics are a little bit different, so really identify the space that you're in. If you're working from home, sometimes it can be difficult to create that space for yourself. Nice to have reminders to just really create space for yourself. A few more breaths here. Inhale for 4. Exhale, let go, release. Exchanging oxygen also with the deep breath in between the interstitial space of the tissues, the cells, exchanging the new cells to regenerate in the body, as well as bringing in oxygen into the deep organs like the kidney, the liver, and so forth. So continue to move with the breath. Inhale for 4. Tilt the chin slightly diagonal towards the top of your mat or right in front of you. Exhale. As we begin our practice, this is where we set the tone for Om. So feel free to Om to yourself, with yourself, in yourself. Stay with the breath. Inhale again. Exhale. We're going to stay here, whether you're sitting on your heels or you're in Sukhasana where your legs are crossed, eyes closed. Elbows are in a soft bend. I'd like you to spend some time in a still position. Lengthen through the spine, so your spine should be erect. If you feel like it's a little hard in the position you are, use props, pillows, blankets, the bolster or the soft block, anything that you have. Find contentment here. What is your intention? What brings you to your mat this evening at this very hour? What pops up for you? And while your eyes are closed, nothing is here with you but the breath. You notice nothing but the breath. We're going to bring awareness into different parts of the body, moving through different points of the body. Inhale for 4, exhale, let go for 6. Begin to notice the energy around you, whether you're by yourself or you're with someone, whether you're at home or anywhere else. Begin to notice the stillness of that energy. Stillness of that energy is very important because now you are setting the climate around you. You're setting the energy around you. As you take deep breaths and you move deeper and deeper in the breath, you also may begin to notice the movement of your head, and feel free to move your head in any way, as long as your shoulders are away, a little lower from the ears, so that way you can really notice the muscles beginning to relax. It may take several more breaths. I'm going to see if anyone else has checked in, and feel free to check in anytime. Just wave your hand. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. Nice to see you here. We're just moving into prana practice for several breaths here, whether you're in Sukhasana, legs crossed, in Virasana where you're sitting on your heels in any way. We're going to allow the muscles to sink in as we lengthen through the spine, lengthen the back. Your seated bones, whether you're sitting directly onto the mat or you're sitting on a bolster or pillows, is fine. You want your seated bones heavy into the pillows, into the mat. It's the heaviest point is the root. Rooting down, deep breath. Let's begin with bringing awareness into the belly. You can touch your belly, but try not to move anything on the belly. As you bring awareness into the belly, maybe you might notice some gurgling sounds. Maybe you might even notice that little pulse from the portal vessel that is in there. You'll notice that there might be a little pulse because you are in a still moment. You might even think, or something pops up that reminds you of what you ate today when you think of the belly. As you bring awareness into the belly, you are bringing in new energy, ridding of old energy. So continue to move with the breath as you inhale for 4. Cleanse out, release for 6. 6 full counts. Hold yourself accountable for those 6 full counts, all the way down to nothing else to release. Inhale again for 4. One more time through the belly. Notice that rise and fall. Exhale, let go. Nothing is moving in the body but the breath. Let's now shift that energy and shift the awareness to the left big toe. And without physically moving the left big toe, just imagine the left big toe on your body. Notice some warmth. Notice anything that's going on. It could be cool. Maybe your toes are cold. I have socks on, so maybe if your socks are not on and it's chilly out, your feet are cold. Just bring awareness into the space. Inhale here for 4. Let the head drop. Let the chin come down. Exhale. Keep your spine lengthen here. As you lengthen the spine, keep the spine erect. Inhale again for 4 counts. Exhale, release. Let go. One more breath here. Begin to notice a nice release into the neck bones in the back. Very nice. Beautiful. If you notice that you're setting an energy around you where you can feel the energy that is still, that is even quiet as you're emptying your mind, just let it be and just be. We're now going to shift the awareness, shift that energy from the left big toe, moving it to the left knee. You may notice awareness into the left knee, the back of the left knee, could be the front. Anywhere on your knee, could just be your kneecap. If you notice any pain, if you notice any warmth, if a memory pops up that reminds you of anything with your knee, move with the breath. Moving deeply in the body, moving to contentment. Inhale for 4. Exhale, let go, release. Surrender. You are cleansing different parts of the body as you're moving through these points. Moving right along, we're going to shift that awareness from the left knee to the left rib. Could be any rib bone. Notice the intercostal spaces without touching it. The intercostal spaces are the spaces between the rib bones. Bringing in oxygen, and as you move with the deep breath, inhale here and you expand the lungs. Hold. You now notice your rib bone even more because the awareness is there. Exhale, release, let go. You're cleansing even deeper through the space of your diaphragm. Exhale, let go. And again. Notice your shoulders are in a relaxed space, away from the ears. And when you can, relax your facial muscles. Let it go. You can unclench your jaw if you feel any tightness in the jaw. Release here. Moisten your area under the tongue by swallowing a couple times. So a couple conscious swallows. Hear yourself swallow. Let's now move the awareness, shifting from the left rib bone to the left collarbone. So bringing awareness into the left collarbone without touching or moving, touching it or moving around. Notice any sensations pop up. Connecting with your senses. One more breath here. Take a deep breath in. Inhale for 4. Exhale, let go, release. Shifting awareness now from the left collarbone or the left side of the collarbone to the left ear. Now that we're in the upper part of the body, moving past the upper extremities, bringing awareness into the ear, the left ear, without moving your head or moving anything on your head and neck. Just bring awareness into that space. You may notice a light. You may hear something. You might even taste something as you bring awareness into this space. Let's now move the awareness after one more breath. Take a deep breath in, inhale for 4. For 6. Beautiful. Shifting awareness now to the right ear, excuse me. Moving it to the right ear, bring awareness into the space, move with the breath, inhale for 4. Allow the body to empty the mind. And as you're emptying the mind, it's like you're pile by pile, stack by stack, you're lightening things. What's floating in the mind, in the chitta vritti, the mind chatter. Mind chatter will always be there, but there's a way to unload, to empty, to lighten. Let's now move that awareness from the right ear to the right rib bone. Move with the breath as you inhale for 4 counts. One more breath. Inhale for 4. Notice any intention pop up, the sankalpa. Let it just go by. Exhale here. Let's now shift that awareness, the energy, to the right kneecap or the knee joint, either way. Whichever you wish, take a deep breath in. Inhale for 4. Exhale, let go for 6. Release. 2 more breaths here as we're now shifting the weight towards, or shifting the energy to the right knee. Stay where you are, eyes closed. Really be in that space. Hi, Rosa. Welcome. Nice to see you here. We have been moving through prana practice and body scan. It's nice to begin with body scan, whether you start or end in your practice. And while you have the awareness of the breath in the right knee, you may notice something different pop up. Something, a sensation or a feeling or anything going on from the left knee may pop up and come different in the right knee. So that is okay. It's good. It's always good. Take a deep breath in. Inhale for 4. Now you're noticing the body's relaxing and you're actually heating up and warming up the spine. Exhale here. One more breath. Expand the lungs. Really notice the movement in the belly. You're cleansing the belly that way. Exhale for 6. 6 counts. Make it count. Each count matters. Beautiful. Next inhale, let's move and shift that awareness over to the right big toe. The right big toe, it may be under your leg if you're in the other under the left leg. If you are in Sukhasana like I am, move through the breath. Inhale for 4. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Let go for 6 breaths. 6 counts into the breath. From the right big toe, we're now going to shift the energy into the chest. So whether your heart or the chest cavity, bring awareness, bring the breath into that space. Deep breath. Now you may notice that you are able to expand the lungs even more because you've been practicing and heating up the body and warming up the spine and just bringing in more energy exchange into the deep organs as well as the interstitial tissues and everywhere else in the body. Regenerating the cells, renewing here. Move with the breath. Inhale for 4. One last time. Nice. Mindful practice here with the body scan. Exhale, let go, release for 6. Now relax. Let's shake it out and transition here. So be gentle here as you come out of Sukhasana since we've been in it for a while. We will start off with a child pose. Now in child pose, we will be here for several breaths. So that could take up to 5 minutes. And that's what I really like about Hatha practice is because you can bring yin practices into Hatha. And that is deepening the muscle tissue, especially if you're taking other classes with us at Truve. It's really nice that you can actually focus on other parts of your workout. And I really like to be able to settle it all into yoga and even in Pilates, whichever you like. But when you do that through your Hatha, whether you're doing Hatha or the Vinyasa flow, you're really sinking into the pose with the breath. So the breath is what opens you up. So if you have a bolster or pillow underneath you, you can remove it. We will revisit it in a little bit, so keep it handy and nearby. We are going to bring the knees together. I always like to take step to practice safe body alignment, because when you practice safe body alignment, you also mimic and practice that in building momentum with your other workouts in your physical life, right? So we're going to take a deep breath in as we move into the space and exhale as we settle into the space. So you open up the knees, okay? Take your time as you want to feel the seated bones. So the seated bones, that is should be right over the heels. You don't want to be too high up. You want to be able to settle the heaviest point, which is the seated bones, right? The hip flexors. And as you open up and as you exhale, take a deep breath in. And through your exhale again, you're going to move through the deep breath. Exhale for 6. We're going to walk the hands over towards the top of the mat. Now, if any time you need to modify or back away from anything, feel free to do that, because that's what you want to do when you notice some resistance in the body, right? So as you exhale, release here. Bring the forearms towards the top of the mat. Let it sink in, sinking down, pressing into the mat. You want to notice that you're working every part of your body in child pose, that your body is aware. It's every part of your body and mind is participating and contributing to your child pose. Very nice. Release here. Move with the breath. Take your time to surrender. This is a nice surrendering pose. Again, we will be here for several breaths. So if you're just joining us, welcome. We'll be moving into child pose for several breaths. Moving into and sinking into the connective tissue, releasing any tensions in the muscles, detoxing the muscles as well. Walk your hands to the right side. And as you move over to the right side, you want to open up on the left part of the rib cage. So, opening up the left part of the rib cage, you're allowing the exchange of oxygen move freely into the intercostal spaces. If there are any heavy points of the upper body, shift the weight towards your hips. So that way you're placing more of the weight rooting down towards the lower extremities. One more breath here. Next inhale, walk your hands over to the left side. And again, what pops up on the right side might be different than the left, and that is good, always good. Stay as close to the ground or the earth as much as possible into the mat. Inhale for 4. Expand the lungs. Exhale, let go, release. Make every breath count, including your exhale. On the exhale, make every single count happen. You get the most out of your child pose by the time you get to the 10th, I would say 10th breath, right? So, next inhale, walk over to the middle. Notice you could even reach and stretch deeper towards the top of the mat. Lengthening yourself, lengthening the spine, warming up the spine here. Notice the chest moving on the earth, connecting, regrounding towards into the earth. It's a really nice way to reconnect with the body and mind. One more breath here. Arms forward. Continue to shift that weight towards the hips, lower extremities. Really nice way to move with the breath. Now on your next inhale, go ahead and walk your hands gently because we're moving into connective tissue, so you don't want to potentially injure yourself, because you can, because we're moving deeper than the muscles, the muscle group. So we're now going to bring the knees together, or you could do it one at a time, bringing it together. Let's now release all of that out, even though child pose seems like it's a pose that you're just sitting still, but you're really working many parts of the body. So here we are. Let's move into cat-cow. Now in your cat-cow, I always learn something new and different in the cat-cow. Might be because of every day is always different for us, right? So bringing in and warming up the spine, bring in the awareness into the breath. You still want to be in that mindful state where you are setting the climate around you, right? So setting the climate, what is your intention? What is your sankalpa? Lower down the upper body, the chest. Stick out the seat as you come into the inhale in your cow pose. Look up without flexing or without flexing your neck. You can look up, take a deep breath in here, and as you exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine, let the head, let the shoulders fall. Let it fall where they may. Notice that release, notice a counter stretch happen in the cat pose. So the cat stretch is really rounding the back, rounding the spine, bringing flexibility into the spine. Lower down again. As you inhale, stick out your bum, stick out your seat. Really nice way to tone in the belly as well, because you're stretching through the abdominal muscle here, and also the psoas muscle, that silent muscle right over, or the tiny muscle right over the hip flexors. And as you exhale, again, draw the belly in towards the spine. Shake out anything that you wish. Let's move into these cat-cows a couple more times, especially while we're really making the theme this evening of prana practice. Let's see, make sure that I have everyone can see. All right. There you go. One more cat-cow. Feel free to move side to side while you're in your position where your knees are in the mat. Tabletop pose. Shake it out. Now, we're going to tap into the balance in our body. Balance doesn't always have to be standing position, right? It could be just balancing what's going on in your mind, trying to empty your mind, relax the mind. Balance can also be like a brain teaser. Balance can also be physical, standing, lying, or even sitting. But we're going to be on the mat with checking in and tapping into the balance. There's no right or wrong as long as you are practicing safe body alignment here, okay? So what we're going to do is we tap into checking in with the balance. This is also a nice morning time stretch and breathing exercise as well as the evening time. But what I like about this balance practice is that doing it before evening time really helps me unwind. It helps me we could always get ready for bed, and as you get ready for bed, physically you're ready for bed, but mentally you're not there yet. So that's what you can do with this balancing pose, okay? We're going to be hands and knees. Knees are directly underneath the hips. Fingers are spread apart, okay? Pressing into the earth, you're going to use that cupping of the mat. You can either use the palm, you can use your palm pad or finger pads. And we're going to lift up, starting off with the right leg, or you could start off with the left. But I'm going to start with my right, and I know it'll be opposite from what you see. And as you take a deep breath and inhale here, you're going to balance it with the opposite limb. Now you want to be careful because you don't want to use your wrist. So if you notice you're using your wrist, back away and start over and just modify where you need to be in a content place in your pose. Intensity might come in, and that is good. You want intensity, but you don't want too much resistance. As you exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale again here. Take a deep breath in, let the belly fall. Now you're going to round your back. Exhale, round here. Belly in towards the spine. Same concept as the cat-cow, right? Inhale again. Let the belly fall. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, beautiful. Bring it back in. Now, shifting over. Now we're moving on to the left leg. Lifting up the left leg, bringing up the right arm. You could even keep your palm facing the wall or whatever's in front of it. Remember, you don't want to use your wrist. You want to use your palm pads, right? Please drop a line and let me know that you can see or hear me. See and hear me. Now, as you take a deep breath in, inhale here, let the belly fall. Notice that squeeze in the glute. Exhale here. Rounding the back, rounding the spine. Notice some heat in the back. Inhale here. Keep the elbows in a nice bend, even the standing elbow. Exhale, draw it back in, let go. Inhale again. Exhale, draw it back in. Rounding the back, rounding the spine. One last time. Make up for that dropped empty space time. And exhale. Hold the belly in, draw the belly in towards the spine. Rounding the back, let go. Shake it out, letting go of some tensions. As you know, we're moving through different parts of the body and detoxing different parts for many different reasons. So, now if you're just joining, again, I appreciate you staying and sticking with me here because we just had a drop. The class or the online, the live had just dropped. So let's move forward. Now let's round the hips, one full circle, chest right over the knees, hovering over the knees, rounding the opposite direction. Another inhale here, round the hips, full circle. Beautiful. Now we're going to move into thread the eye of the needle. And what I'm going to do is actually move the other way, the other direction. So, hi Yang Mei, thanks for hanging. The live dropped, so excuse us for that. All right, now in Thread the Eye of the Needle, we did visit this last week, and I just want to make sure you know, I always like to bring this in each class. So, never enough to move into Thread the Eye of the Needle, right? So, fingers are spread apart, allow some space so you're not using your wrists. So, using the palm pads, finger pads, bring energy and awareness into the finger pads. Energizing here. You're going to place one hand at the top of the mat, not too far, just enough for you to hold, and this is going to be your standing hand, right? So we're going to raise your arm up, exhale, scoop the arm all the way through until the shoulder meets the mat, inhale back up again, stack the shoulder here, feel the heaviness in the shoulder, exhale, try not to dump any weight into the standing hand, inhale back up again, wiggle those fingertips, stack the shoulder, exhale. Scoop it through until the shoulder meets the mat. This time it will stay here. So stay in the pose that you are. We'll be here for 3 full breaths, and as you are here for 3 full breaths, connect in with the earth, listen into the earth, listening into your mat. Really take the time. How often can you be in this very pose? Bringing the teacher in you. You're guiding through here, making and creating space for yourself and with yourself. On the next inhale, return back to hands and knees. Let's now shake it out. Rounding the hips, one full circle, chest right over the knees. Other direction. Very nice. You can move into a little mini or a half demi plank. Now the other side. One palm at the top of the mat, not too far, just enough for it to be your standing hand or standing arm. Inhale, take a deep breath in, and stack the shoulder here. Exhale, scoop all the way through until the shoulder meets the mat. Inhale up again, and remember the heaviest point is the lower extremity, the hips. Inhale one last time, stack the shoulder, fingers towards the earth. Exhale, release. Be here for 3 or 4 full breaths. Reconnecting with the earth, listening into the earth, rooting down, regrounding, reconnecting with the self. Always important. We may not always do enough. On the next inhale, return back to hands and knees. If you have one more to go, feel free. No rush. Rounding the hips. Mini cobra. Round the hips again. Beautiful. Now we're ready to come into downward facing dog. So if you are ready to move into downward facing dog, we're going to lift up the seat, moving into a V, upside down V rather. Remember, you want to use your finger pads and finger pads and the palm pads. Lifting up through your seat, tuck your toes, and the higher you go up, the lower down your head inverts. So inverting the heart is a nice way to invert the heart. Tuck the chin in towards the chest, pedaling one heel at a time. Stack the hip, lift up one leg into a bend. Inhale here, round, and make some nice rotation of the knee, the ankle, the thigh, and then the other direction. Balance your practice here. Inhale up for the next leg. Rotate the ankle, rotate the thigh, rotate the knee, and then moving to the other direction. Very nice. Again, pedal your heels one at a time. Lower heel comes down, the higher the seat comes up. So the higher the seat comes up, the lower your heel comes down. Really deepen the stretch so the down dog hits every part of your body, including the core. Moving into a plank, lower down. Remember, shoulders are above the elbows. Coming into cobra, take a deep breath in here. Belly off the mat, squeeze your glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now we're going to come into child pose. Now, as we come into child pose again, we're going to open up the knees, walk your hands towards the top of the mat. Relax, release. Reaching deeper. Walk your hands back up to center. Just to check the time. Now, in light of time, we're now going to move from your down dog. Coming back down into, coming from down dog to plank, and then now to child pose, right? So, what we're going to do for about 6 full breaths is we're going to have the bolster in front of you. Place the bolster in front of you. I'm going to do it in such a diagonal direction so that way you can see. You want to place the bolster in between the thighs. Make sure your seated bones are right over your heels, and you're going to come down just like child pose, but this time we have the bolster to hold and support the muscles. We'll be here for about 6 full breaths. So while you're at home or wherever you are, take the time to really make every single breath count. Feel free to turn the cheeks so you can balance your practice. Relax the muscles. Find rest in the muscles. Exchanging old cells for new. Next inhale. When you're ready, only when you're ready, we're going to move back up. Now, what we're going to do is, as we come into a close, I would like to leave you in Shavasana. And as I leave you in Shavasana, a really nice way is, this is a good time to play your music. So I'll give it about 30 seconds if you want to set up your music if you don't have it set up yet. But ocean sounds are always nice. And the way we're going to do Shavasana, if you have your bolster or pillows, I always like to move into a restorative version of Shavasana. It's a classic Shavasana where the bolster is underneath the knee joints, right? And this is the hardest pose as you come into Shavasana, not because it's the final place to be in your journey, but it's really a challenge because now you're finding true stillness with the breath, connecting the breath and movement. So the challenge is to stay as still as possible, time travel if you need to, lowering down. Now let the sacrum relax. Let the sacrum settle into the earth. Elbows bent, eyes closed. Let the ankles fall where they may. Begin to deepen the breath. Move with the breath. Inhale for 4. Exhale, let go for 6. This is a good time to really just refresh, renew, and reset. Return to your body. Return to your breath. Reach your arms over your head and lengthen yourself here, even with the bolster or pillow right underneath the knees. This is a nice way to also support the low back. If any of you have any back issues, it's a good way to support the back through having support underneath the knees. Imagine waking up for a new day, but you're waking up for a new journey. How amazing is that? Roll over to your right side. Stay here for a moment. Use your arm as a pillow under your head. Move the bolster away from you because now you're getting ready to pull yourself up. And as you gently pull yourself up, we will come to a close in our practice. So, whether you're in Virasana, where you're sitting on your heels, just like as I am, or you're in Sukhasana, take a deep breath in. Roll the shoulders up. As you inhale, roll the shoulders up again. One more time. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Great, very nice. This is a time to close our practice with an Om, 3 Shantis, sending love, peace, and wellness all to each other, to the universe. Sending gratitude. I give you light. Bow down towards the earth, giving thanks for its gifts of life, of breath, nutrients. Namaste.